Good evening and welcome to the Lowcountry Jazz Band. We have not performed for over 2 years, and it's such a pleasure to have you. You see before you 17 musicians in a big band formation. We've got 5 saxes, and behind them 4 trombones, the 4 trumpets, and then a 4-person rhythm section, piano, bass, guitar, and drums. You'll hear a lot of up-tempo tunes, you'll hear some ballads, you'll hear some really terrific solo work, and we're also going to feature each one of these sections separately in a little chamber music, as we say. This afternoon's jazz classics were written between 1937, not many of us remember that, and 2012. The band opens with Eddie Durham's 1937 Jumpin' at the Woodside, and I just found out that was a hotel in Harlem. One of Count Basie's signature tunes. This is called a head arrangement, which the players work out in their heads. They memorize and play, but they didn't bother to write it down. But happily, Rich DeRosa arranged it for publication, and our performance includes solos by Steve Ryder, Greg Huddle, Rich Orr, Lee Smith, and J.P. Bittner. This is Jumpin' at the Woodside. Peterson wrote the romantic ballad called Moonlight Becomes You for the 1942 movie Road to Morocco. Vic Shane arranged it for Charlie Spivak's band, and Bing Crosby recorded it. It topped the Billboard charts and is the most popular version of this beautiful song. Enjoy Greg Huddle on trumpet and Bob Adams on clarinet. Our first ensemble is the sax section, and Bob Adams, who plays both sax and clarinet, will introduce it.
Thank you, Mary. The influential jazz legend Duke Ellington wrote "Don't Get Around Much Anymore" in 1940, and it's become a real jazz standard. Peter Witt arranged it for 5 saxophones, 2 altos, which I have one and you have the other, right there, 2 tenors, and a baritone sax as well. They're all single reed instruments, and they're all amazingly versatile, as you will hear when you hear us all. Bob Adams, that's me, and Deb Peterson, Steve Reuben, John Ryerson, and Rick Eckstein. Enjoy.
Stevie Wonder's 1976 tune called Sir Duke was a tribute to Duke Ellington, who died 2 years before that. In addition to the Duke, Wonder's lyrics praise other jazz greats, and I quote, "Music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand, with equal opportunity for all to sing, dance, and clap their hands. Here are some of music's pioneers that time will not allow us to forget. Basie, Miller, Satchmo, and the king of all, Sir Duke. And with a voice like Ella's ringing out, there's no way the band could lose." This is Stevie Wonder's Sir Duke. I am so delighted to have with us Reuben as our, what they call a girl singer in the old days, but as our vocalist, she's marvelous. Reuben.
Thank you. We begin our love song set with the Motown songwriting team of Holland and Dozier, who wrote the classic How Sweet It Is, first recorded by American soul singer Marvin Gaye in 1965. The song title was inspired by one of Jackie Gleason's signature phrases, "How sweet it is." James Taylor's 1975 version is the most successful remake of the song to date. We are delighted to present it to you today.
Trombone is also a composer and arranger, and he arranged this next tune for the trombone quartet, and he'll tell you about it.
Thank you, Mary. So I'd like to do a little thought experiment with the audience here. So imagine the band is playing up here and we're going, and everybody stops playing except the trombones. What would you expect to hear? And I don't want any answers from the band on this question, because I know what they're going to say. You would hear four people, this is what you should hear, four people playing together, mostly playing the same rhythms, different notes, sometimes playing together, sometimes the parts split apart, but it's basically section playing, where we're all doing the same thing together most of the time. Well, there's an entirely different style of playing that trombones can do, and Mary already alluded to this when she said it was going to be chamber performances by the individual sections. It's choir playing, and in trombone choir playing, like singing in a church choir sometimes, it's every person for themselves. You're doing different things, and it all is supposed to fit together. So I wrote an arrangement for the students at Hilton Head Jazz Camp, where I teach every year. This will be my 10th year of doing that this year. And I would like to have the trombone section play that piece for you now, so that you can hear some of the different things that happen in a trombone piece. This is a Victor Young song, and it's called My Foolish Heart.
pianist Sergio Mendes began recording in 1961 and took the musical world by storm with his recordings of his ensemble Brazil 66. He has over 55 releases and plays bossa nova heavily crossed with jazz and funk. Mendes is a unique example of a Brazilian musician primarily known in the United States, where his albums were recorded and where most of his touring took place. He and his band included The Trouble with Hello Is Goodbye in their 1975 album, which we will now perform for you. introduced George and Ira Gershwin's "They Can't Take That Away From Me" in the 1937 film Shall We Dance. It was a huge success, but unfortunately, George Gershwin died 2 months after the film's release. The song was posthumously nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Song at the 1937 Oscars and lives on as part of the Great American Songbook. The way you wear your hats, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, no, they can't take that away from me. The way you smile just please, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, no, they can't take that away from me. We may never, never meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always, always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, no, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away. We may never, never meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always, always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, no, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away. They can't take that away. No, they can't take that away from me.
We're going to move right along to the blues, which is a wonderful 12-bar form, and it's very simple. It's tonic, meaning the root of the chord. It's subdominant, built on the 4th note, and back to tonic, and then to the dominant, the 5th, and back to tonic. And you don't have to worry about it, because our very talented pianist, Lee Smith, is going to just give you a 12-bar blues, with, I think, some of her colleagues. That's time. And that's 7 on the 4th. And that one. And that's dominant. And thank you so much. Good. They can go on. We're going to begin our blues set with Duke Ellington's C Jam Blues. Of course, it's in the key of C. And I'm going to quote Rich Orr. Ellington's C Jam Blues presents a simple melody as a vehicle for a lot of people to solo out their woes. That is such a wonderful phrase, solo out their woes. Blues became more melodically sophisticated in the hands of the East Coast post-boppers such as Monk, and the West Coasters such as Kenton, and you're going to hear both of them later, got into the act and made it more orchestral and harmonically developed. The Duke and countless other musicians have performed C-Jam blues. The entire melody has only 2 notes, and I've asked Bob Adams if he'll demonstrate. That's terrific. That's it. Thank you, Bob. 6 of our musicians are each going to improvise one of these blues verses. Rich Orr, Bob Adams, Pete Stevenson back there, and Bob Higgins, our guitarist, J.P. Bittner, our bassist, Lee Smith on piano. We are going to do C-Jam blues. In 1954, Blue Monk wrote his most recorded tune. This is Thelonious Monk, of course. His unorthodox approach to the piano colored his compositions with dissonances and angular harmonies and melodies. You'll hear percussive attacks, abrupt key changes, silences, and hesitations. Tenor sax Steve Reuben and trumpeter Pete Stevenson begin with what I call a wonky duet. And you'll hear Dave Bricker in the middle with a nice drum solo. This is Well, we're going from Thelonious Monk to a nursery rhyme. Gene Roland took a simple 3-verse nursery rhyme and arranged Reuben's Blues for Stan Kenton's big band. And the rhyme is about Rachel and Reuben. And Rachel sings, Reuben, Reuben, I've been thinking what a strange world this would be if all the men were all transported far beyond the northern sea. And Reuben responds, Rachel, Rachel, I've been thinking what a strange world this would be if the girls were all transported far beyond the northern sea. I will point out that she says men and he says girls. And she says, what a great world this would be if there were no tiresome men. And he says, what a great world this would be if you'd leave it to the men. And she says, if we went beyond the seas, all the men would swarm like bumblebees. And his is the last word. The girls all would follow after like a swarm of honeybees. We begin with a walking bass for the first verse, with the trombone section presetting the melody, and the saxes are going to drop a little cool counter melody in. And then tenor sax, Steve Reuben, we're certainly keeping him busy tonight, aren't we? Is featured against the trumpets for the second verse, and the third verse is everybody. This is Reuben's Blues. We're going to let our rhythm section shine, as if they don't all the time anyway. And they're going to play a blues based on the music of Miles Davis. Lee Smith on piano, P.J. Bittner on bass, and Bob Higgins on guitar, and way back is Dave Bricker on drums. The rhythm section. In 1941, Harry Warren wrote Chattanooga Choo for Glenn Miller and his orchestra for the movie Sun Valley Serenade. It was the first song ever to receive a gold record. The song opens and closes with the band imitating the whoo-whoo of a train rolling out of New York's Pennsylvania station, running through Baltimore to North Carolina, and finally to Chattanooga. Trumpeter Pete Stevenson plays the lead, which you may remember hearing sung by Ted Beneke in the movie. Chattanooga Choo. really busy tonight, but he's going to introduce the piece that the trumpet section will play.
Thank you very much. The trumpet section is no excuses. We've been riddled with people not here this year due to certain diseases and things going around and people missing. But we're doing a number called Tuesday Night Quartet by David Greenberg. We have absolutely no idea what it is. It's actually a tune written as the old vocal groups in the 50s and 60s stood on the corners in the big cities and sang quartets. And this is a trumpet quartet featuring 4 trumpets, obviously. Well, not obviously, because there could be 5. But in a quartet, there's usually 4. My wife told me to put a filter on it tonight, so. She's up there in the sax section hoping I don't say something stupid. which is nearly impossible. Anyway, Mary asked me to say a few things. The trumpets are what we're playing pretty much most of the time tonight. Back in the trumpet section, the saxes get to have all kind of fun with altos, tenors, and barries, and things like that. Occasionally we pick up our flugelhorns, which are like this. They're kind of a cross between a trumpet, trombone. You don't want to leave them in a case with a trumpet too long or you get a cornet. Anyway, without further ado, we will do a song called Tuesday Night Quartet.
Rehearsals are never dull.
Skyfall is 23rd in the James Bond series produced by Ian Productions. The 2012 film premiered at the Royal Albert Hall with Daniel Craig as fictional M16 agent James Bond, with an all-star cast. British singer-songwriter Adele wrote and recorded the film's theme song with Paul Epworth. The song was nominated for and won the Academy Award for Best Original Song. It was a first for a Bond song. Lee Smith introduces the melody on the keyboard. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. Oh, this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment, so overdue. I was there, swept away and stored. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face down, together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face down, together. Let the sky Skyfall is where we start. 1,000 miles and poles apart, where worlds collide and days are dark. You can have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never take my heart. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face on, together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face on, together. Let sky Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'll never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in my hand, and we will stand. The sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it on, together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it on, together. Let the sky fall. Let the sky fall. We will stand tall. Let the sky Nothing like doing a little James Taylor than Adele. I can't really, either one. All right, thank you so much, thank you. Finally, You've Got a Friend in Me is a song by Randy Newman, used as the theme song for the 1995 Disney Pixar animated film, Toy Story. It has since become a major musical component for its sequels, Toy Story 2, 3, and 4, which was presented in 2019, as well as a musical theme throughout the whole Toy Story franchise. The song was nominated for both the Academy Award for Best Original Song and the Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song. We hope you will enjoy You've Got a Friend in Me. You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks
She's a marvel, and wonderful to work with. We're going to conclude our concert, and I must say thank you for coming, and especially those who are standing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to conclude with Star Eyes from the 1943 film. Are you ready? I Do'd It. That's a real film name. Written by Jean DePaul and Don Ray. And in the film, it was performed by Helen O'Connell, who we know, and Bob Everly, and it was accompanied by Jimmy Dorsey's orchestra. Charlie Parker recorded Star Eyes in '51, making it popular for all jazz musicians, and it's a standard. Pete Stevenson, again, solos in this, our swinging finale. And I want to say, I hope that you enjoyed the concert, and perhaps on your... Are people that will be standing at the door in case you would like to put a little something in it to help our cause. We would love it if you would do that. So we do Star Eyes. happens to be Mardi Gras, we're going to do When the Saints Go Marching In, and the band has to sing it. And if you'd like to join them, that would be just great.